Welcome to RPG Book Club, the podcast where we play a little bit of a video game and talk about how it makes us feel. I'm Sam.
I'm Bernard.
And I'm Trish.
And today we'll be continuing our coverage of Golden Sun, The Lost Age, playing until we receive our next quest in Lemuria. But before we get started, how was everyone's week?
So I started replaying Breath of the Wild. Hot take, it's a good video game.
Oh shit,
Really?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. If y'all haven't heard of this game, y'all should check it out. Because I never got around to playing Tears of the Kingdom, and but it's been like 9 years since I played Breath of the Wild, so I was like, I want to play Breath of the Wild again, so I can remember who anyone is. And also, it would probably be fun, and it's got the fancy Nintendo Switch 2 version.
Hell yeah.
And I'm having a great time with it.
I was just talking with someone yesterday at Girl Scouts who's still working on Breath of the Wild. And
I thought the game was finished.
You finally got me back, Trish. How does it feel?
It feels incredible. I feel like a god.
But yeah, I was reminded that Breath of the Wild is really good, and maybe I should go back and play it. I never did play the DLC, so...
Yeah, I never played the DLC either. I just played the game a whole bunch right when it came out.
I did the DLC that can get you a motorcycle, and I spent so much time on it, and I got to the final floor and felt like I was fucking punked. Because the final floor is so hard, and I'd used up like all of my healing items in the floor right before that.
Damn.
So that sucked.
Did you get the motorcycle in the end?
No, I didn't.
No.
Because I was going to
I'm a failure. I'm a quitter by nature, and a coward by choice.
I'm pretty sure in the last episode you said you didn't know how to rage quit.
I don't. This isn't a rage quit. It's a fuck it.
Oh,
It's very different.
It's an active decision to quit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So in Tears of the Kingdom, all of your horses from Breath of the Wild are still in the stable, which is a very cool touch. Can you use your motorcycle? Does that?
That's a great question.
I don't know. Listeners, write in the comments. First off, create a podcast client that has comments, and then write in the comments and tell us if you can use your motorcycle in Tears of the Kingdom.
I thought in Tears of the Kingdom you built motorcycles, from what I heard.
Yes.
It's true. As Brendan Lee Mulligan would say, get in the comments.
Yeah. I didn't build a motorcycle. I attached a steering wheel onto two fans that I super glued together, and then I just flew across the entire world and trivialized most of the game. God, that game's so good.
It's so good.
I look forward to playing it.
I really liked the depths.
Oh, me too. It's the best part.
It's really frustrating, but that's why it's good.
Mm-hmm.
My week has been pretty fucking great.
Good.
I know I've talked about before, feeling more and more job satisfaction, but at this point, like, I had a point today where I was like, I am not, so I'm gonna, anyone who works with me, don't listen to this part of the podcast. In jobs I have worked, there have been points where I do, as I say, a little fucking around on company time, because, like, fuck you.
Boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
You can say shit.
I mean, I heard the rhyme is poop the first time, so I wasn't censoring myself. I was just saying it the way I heard it.
I had a point today where I just realized I basically, like, I am so focused on my job now all the time, not because I need to, but because there are things I want done to make the library better and to make projects I like happen. So the other day, because as I've mentioned, I'm transitioning into a role where I'm helping one of the librarians with, like, teen stuff. The other day, she's, like, reorganizing everything in that area, and that gave some new space to up to this point. All of the graphic novels were on a set of half shelves, and just one side of the half shelves. And so they were all stuffed on there. There was, depending on what had been checked out and what wasn't, it was frequently the case that there was just flat out no room on anything for anything. And that sucked. That's not a good situation to have, you know? So what we did is we had the other side of that was open, so I got to spread it across that, and that got me being like thinking about our collection, what we have and what we don't have. And so at one point I was just like, oh hey, if you like, I know something about this kind of thing, and if you ever wanted some recommendations on like areas to expand, she's like, yes, please tell me what I'm missing. And so I made a spreadsheet, and I didn't just make a spreadsheet being like, here's what I think we should get. I was like, here's a spreadsheet. I've crunched the data. Here's how many copies our Library of Networks has total. Here's how many copies all of those total copies have circed. Like how many times they've been checked out total. And all this, data to be like, here's what I want to get, and here's how well it's been doing. And I don't know. That was just fun to do.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed doing it.
Awesome. Love spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets can be good if they're doing a thing you like.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, in general, I'm just like, I don't know. I like this job a lot. I'm happy. What is this? How can a job make you happy? That sounds fake.
But I'm glad. You deserve to spend 40 hours a week doing something you enjoy and not
30
30
hours a week. Excuse you. I'm part-time.
But still.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. What about you, Sam? What have you been up to?
So, members of our Ko-Fi will know that I made a big digital whoopsie last week. And where I deleted around a third of my Plex server because I held down the shift button when I didn't need to.
I thought you did something to the coffee. I thought you fucked that up and didn't tell me.
No. Just the story I told on the bonus episode. But trying to fix it the next couple of days involved so much like scrolling down with my middle finger that I got a RSI on the back of my hand because it hurt so bad to do anything with it because I had just been scrolling on web pages to fix things for like 10 hours unbroken. And
oh my God.
That sucked. Don't recommend. All of those memes about like get up, stretch, drink water, do something else for 30 seconds. You should do that. You shouldn't just sit there and hyperfocus. I came out of my hyperfocus fugue state realizing that I had listened to 20 chapters of the Wish Song of Shannara since I had last sat down, and that's a lot of hours. So yeah, that sucked. But
Sam, I want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
You can start doing something, stop doing it, and then continue doing it later.
It's true. It's possible.
I'm aware of that concept. I don't think my brain has gotten that memo.
Here's the thing.
You.
Bernard, I agreed with you, but now I have to actually switch sides back to Sam's because I do completely understand. There are so many things where it's like, yes, I know I should, stop doing this to go do another thing. But I also know myself, and if I stop doing the thing I'm currently doing, there's a significant possibility I'll just forget it exists for days, weeks, months, who knows? I don't. And so it's always better to just do it now, because if I stop, I'll never do it.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's just when I get in a flow state, I can just not get out of the flow state. I don't know how. And if I manage to get out of the flow state, then I'll never get back into it. But
dreadful brains we have.
Yeah. Other than that, I watched the Very Important People episode with Angela something. I forget her last name. It's
Finoli.
No.
Oh
yes.
God.
I watched the Finoli one.
I haven't watched the full episode because there's lots of episodes I haven't watched yet, but I saw some clips on YouTube and wow.
It's so good. and to not spoil it, but she or he Finoli creates a theme song for Very Important People, and it has been stuck in my head constantly ever since. So those are the two things I did this week. Is I got an RSI and I've had a song stuck in my head.
I'm very hit or miss on Very Important People. I love the show, but there's just some episodes I'm just like, like when it hits, it's incredible, and when it's like one I'm not as interested in, I could just go without it. But I love the Finoli one. I think one of my recent favorites, and I didn't expect it, was the Brennan and Jacob one where they're two.
Oh, I don't like looking at the screen on that episode.
I also saw clips of that one, and it's so repulsive.
It's so bad.
I got used to it. I started off where you are, and then I was like, no, wait, I got this. And the characters they do are just so fucking hilarious.
And my favorite thing about all of that episode is at the very end, the thing that Brennan's character does to be the button on the episode was completely improv because it's an improv thing. And Jacob and Vic's reactions were real. They were like, holy shit. And it was this season has had a bunch of like insanely funny episodes, but has also had so many good like improv character studies, and I love it so much.
Also the I think this was not this season, it was last season, but recently ish, when my partner was visiting, when two partners were visiting, one of whom was my first time seeing her in person, she's not seen a lot of Dropout stuff, including she'd never seen any of Very Important People.
Nice.
So it was like, we gotta hit the classics, or like the best ones. And for
which
me,
are those?
So for me, we showed her two, and I say the classics. They're my two favorite. One of them is the Jacob one, where he's God, what's it? Something Steel.
Hayes Steel. I haven't watched that
Hayes
one
Steel.
yet.
It's so fucking good. It's really funny. And then the other one is the Anna Garcia one, where she is Zeke, the child
where she's
who wished to be
Rocks.
Rocks.
I'm Rocks.
That one truly has made me laugh harder than any other Very Important People. Maybe more than anything else on Dropout. From Anna's reaction to seeing herself in the mirror to her horribly uncanny impression of like an 8-year-old boy. Like, it is like her acting is so good.
Yeah.
And then just all the bits of just being like, wow, you an adult are being really weird right now. Why are you doing this? Vic the character is a weird freak.
So speaking of Anna Garcia, another thing I watched was the season premiere of Actually, and it was really, really good. But the most important part about it is
they stopped doing the joke you hated?
Yes, that they stopped doing the joke I hated. But the second most important part is that DJ Mausner was a guest on it, which means we probably have another DJ Mausner Make Some Noise episode, and theirs was the literal best one last season, and it wasn't close. So I'm very, very excited that we get more DJ, and I'm anxious to see their next thing, because they rule.
I don't know who that is. I am imagining Mouser from Super Mario as a DJ.
Yep, that's right. But they did the reason I said speaking of Anna Garcia is their last episode was Jess McKenna, Anna Garcia, and DJ Mausner, and it lives in my head rent free. It's so good. But you know what else is good?
What?
The concept of this section of Golden Sun.
I was like, you bet, what are you going to pull out of your fucking ass to compliment this goddamn section of the game we played?
What's good is this section when you're playing it when you're 13 years old.
Yes.
And it's the
and you
summer.
Have 5 months.
And you can just pour as much time as you want into it. What's not good is playing it on a deadline as
Hey,
the podcast host.
I remember at some point you were pulling me onto this show. You said something about we do 2 dungeons a week, right? That was the thing you told me. How many dungeons did we do this week?
A lot.
We did like a whole game's worth of dungeons.
We did. When we last left our maybe heroes, maybe villains, they still won't tell us what their motivations are, we had gotten a boat and we were ready to set sail to somewhere. The gang had no idea what to do next, so we were left to our own devices. So if I was going to give an accurate play-by-play of what happened this week, it would be we wander around and try every dungeon to see how far we can go, and if we can't beat it, we go somewhere else, and then eventually we make it to Lemuria, where plot finally happens.
There is some plot that happens around there at points, if you can find it.
Yes.
But yeah.
So, instead, I'm going to the best of my ability, string together a logical sequence of how narratively one might have completed this week, but in a few instances, there's literally no in-game hint that you need to go somewhere until after you've already been there. So, I will be taking a little bit of poetic license to make it make sense to you, dear reader, listener. So our eventual goal is to get to Lemuria, so we might as well head there first and see what we find. Lemuria is located within the Sea of Time, a location in the middle of the ocean surrounded by currents and a pervasive mist that's impossible to cross currently. Sheba asks Pierce, how do we cross? And he's like, I've only ever left Lemuria. I've never entered Lemuria. I don't know how to get back. So the gang needs to try and find a way to get through the currents. So they eventually make their way to Yalom on the southern continent. It is a small town that is home to the best blacksmith on Wayard, which apparently is the name of this planet. Also, it's not a planet. And it is the birthplace of the famous explorer Yep. Yep traveled all over the Eastern Sea back in the day, and he went diving to get pearls, and he traded the pearls that he found on his voyages to bring riches back to the village and pay for everything the village needed. But a few years back, Yep passed away, and none of the current pearl divers are anywhere near as good as Yep was, and they can't get nearly as many or as good of pearls that Yep did. And now that Sunshine, the blacksmith, hasn't been doing any work on account of Teopo Swamp being dried up and inaccessible, the village is not really doing so hot. Yep never left any maps of his voyages, but he did play with the children all the time, and he would teach them songs that he had written while at sea. So we go to talk to the children, and they, quote, sing the, quote, song, which sounds an awful lot like directions on how to get across the Sea of Time, and an awful little like any sort of song or rhyme or poem or anything like that at all.
What, do you think this exposition was clumsy or something?
A little. So, armed with these directions and also save states, we cross the Sea of Time, but when we reach the interior, the way to Lemuria itself is blocked by the god of the sea, Poseidon. Not to be confused with Neptune, the Mercury summon. This is just a big ol' angry guy. Worse off, our attacks do 0 damage. Yikes. So we get owned by Poseidon, and in a better designed version of this game, we would then see a scene of them coming to and talking about how they need to find some way to deactivate his force field so that we can defeat him. But no scene like that exists. So we head back to Yalom, and we ask Sunshine to make us some cool weapons. But he says, if it ain't a-rainin', I ain't a-workin', which is a very weird thing to say. But if you read his mind, he says that when it rains, it's easier to navigate Teobo Swamp. And so, since we have synergy and we're the protagonists, we can go there ourselves and get him the materials that he needs. So we head to Teobo Swamp, but when we get to the bottom, we can't complete it because there's a big rock teetering on the precipice and we need some synergy that can knock it down.
Get used to getting to the end of a dungeon and realizing you need a synergy you don't have.
Yep. So we remember all those times long ago, before we got pierced, that we saw frost puddles on the ground and knew that we would need to come back with our Mercury Adept. So we go to the one in Madra, and we go to the Madra Catacombs, another dungeon, and we are able to complete it, and we get the Trimmer Synergy. So we then head back to Teopo Swamp, we knock down the big rock, and we get some Stardust that Sunshine crafts into a weapon, but it's like just a normal-ass weapon, not a special one. We need something with some magic power to stop Poseidon. Oh, hey, remember when we were in Kabombo with the Great Kabomba, and he told us to come back and he'd give us some magic? Let's go do that one. So we head into the Great Kabomba statue, and there's now a passageway down to another dungeon. And when we get to the end, Kabomba tells us that he'll honor the deal and he'll give us the power, but we have to promise not to tell Akafubu, because Akafubu shouldn't be trusted with necromancy. And so Kabomba's going to tell him some sort of the power was in you all along bullshit, so that he can grow as a leader, but not be given any more powerful witch doctor powers. But necromancy sucks. It costs way too much max HP to just get the ability to have a revive. So I just use it if somebody dies in battle. I use it to I use it on whoever's alive, so that they can get revive and bring my party back to life. And otherwise, I don't use it because it sucks. But while we're in Kabombo, we run into some NPCs that say that it's hot and humid in Gondolin, but from the bottom of the continent, they can see Tundaria Tower being kind of jutting out and impudent or whatever, which is the closest thing to a hint that this game has for the dungeon that holds two critical path items. I controlled F the entire script on GameFAQs for the words Tundaria, and that's the only one that you can read before having already completed Tundaria.
I'm gonna throw the game a slight save here. And just say that, like, they've given you a boat and free access to like half the map.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the fact that near the North Pole there is this whole area with a obvious dungeon there, I think it's just supposed to compel you into going there.
Absolutely. It works 100%. The fact that there are literal no hints, though, is insane for me to try and write notes about a way that this makes sense.
100%. 100%. It's ridiculous.
Like, they go there because they can.
They can.
Tower.
So,
don't you want to climb a tower? Those are like the best levels in the new Super Mario Brothers games.
It's true. So we head to Tundaria Tower, but there's nothing we can do yet because the doors that we need to go through are underwater. So we meander until we reach the literal edge of the world, because the world is indeed fully flat, and we arrive at the Apogee Islands. Here there's an old coot who is obsessed with the secret of Aqua Rock, and he knows that the secret to the secret of Aqua Rock is the Aqua Stone in the center of town. And legends say that it will show the path forward at Aqua Rock if the Aqua Stone gets wet, but rainwater and seawater and spring water all don't do anything. So we use our magic water, which of course works, and we are able to go to Aqua Rock and get the secret of Aqua Rock, which is Parch, the synergy that lets us dry up bodies of water.
I need to point out, you are justifiably skipping past Aqua Rock. Aqua Rock is, as the name might imply, the Air Rock Part 2, because it's
fucking huge.
Such a stupidly long dungeon.
I don't think it's quite as long as Ayers Rock, but yeah, it's big.
It's big. Because you have a bunch of dungeon you do on the outside, just like you did at Ayers Rock, and then you have giant dungeon that like loops back in on itself and has fucking water temple puzzles inside of it. It's nuts.
Awesome.
It's very good, actually. So
no,
we
it's
head
a
back
very
to
good dungeon. It just took. There's a reason it took us an extra week to make this episode. And I'm going to be honest, I think about 30% of it is this dungeon.
So we head back to Tundaria Tower, and we can now complete the dungeon, and our prize is the power Burst, which lets us explode things that have cracks in them. And also, a broken piece of a trident. Why is the quest in this order? I guess we'll just wait and see if this is important later.
Oh, so here's some broken piece of trash. Guess we'll take it with us in case it turns out to be important.
But now that we can blow up cracked rocks, we remember that the big old rock on top of the mast on the ship in Alhafra has a crack in it. So we take our power of burst back to Alhafra and we free the ship. The mayor of Alhafra continues to be a piece of shit, and the party has had enough of it. So when, like clockwork, Briggs breaks out of jail and steals the ship, we don't even try and stop him. We follow him to Champa and we try to talk to him, but he is positive that we're going to kick his butt again. So he asks his grandma Obaba to fight us instead. She summons a big salamander for us to fight.
I love so much the scene of Briggs escaping and just how much of a, like, we've gone over for how much of an asshole this mayor is, and so it's just so cathartic for him to, like, and for truly the protagonist to be like, why would we help you?
So Obaba summons a big salamander for us to fight, and when we begrudgingly beat it, we tell Briggs that, hey, we hate the mayor of Alhafra. We don't care that you stole the ship. We don't care that you're a pirate. Which apparently Grandma Obaba didn't know anything about. So she chews Briggs out and makes him promise to return everything he stole, which we say is good enough, so we let him be. We then go over to talk to Grandma after the fight because she's an NPC and we just want to talk to her. And then a cutscene starts of Felix turning in the quest item, the broken piece of trident. Grandma tells us that this is part of the uber-powerful Trident of Ankal, a trident that legends say the wielder of will have nothing to fear from the sea. The Trident of Ankal is supposed to be at the top of the Tower of Ankal, but since this is only a third of it, and we got it from another more different tower, then maybe there's a third more different tower that has the last third.
It's really, like, she does say something like, you know, I'm old and wise. Ask me about stuff if you need to know about stuff. So I just go and talk to her after the scene ends. And it's like, oh, this piece of trash I picked up is really important, I guess.
So we remember a tower from the very beginning of the game that we weren't able to climb all the way to the top of because we didn't have piers yet. So we head back there. But on the way out, we run into the first of two actual plot scenes that happened this week because we run into Alex.
Yeah. And he says something like, we meet again. And I'm like, man, I haven't seen you. I do not know you.
Whose man is this? Oh, okay. I love this scene, though.
Oh, yeah.
So we introduce Alex to our replacement Mercury adept, Pierce, and Alex introduces us to his new replacement Mars adepts, Karst, Minaldi's sister from last week, and she's been traveling with Alex for a while, along with her Satoros counterpart, Agashio. They're here just to threaten Felix and remind him that his quest is to light the lighthouses, so if we don't do that, remember how strong Satoros and Minardi were? Well, her little sister is just as strong, and now she's pissed off, so we don't want to get on her bad side, now would we? And we're like, yeah, we were going to do that. You didn't need to come here just to threaten us. And Alex is like,
to be fair, we've been wandering around aimlessly for a while.
For a while.
It's true.
I think it's understandable if Alex thinks we may have forgotten.
Also, the push and pull of this conversation is hilarious.
Yes.
Because it's like, Alex, what are you doing here? And he's just like, it's like, you keep abandoning us, you douchebag. And he's like, whoa, what's with all this hostility? Aren't we friends? Like, what the hell? And it's like, are you our friend? I don't know if you are. And he's like, that really hurts to hear. Anyway, here are these two dudes I want to introduce you to. They're, you know, if you don't do your job, they could just kick your ass. We're like, so you're threatening us. He's like, what? No, I'm not threatening you. And every part of the conversation is made so much funnier by the emotes, because Alex has the most of them in this entire scene, and they're so adorable that it makes him look either like a master manipulator or the biggest doofus on the planet.
You know what I love? I love when someone doesn't remember something someone else brings up and the question marks appear and it goes
yes!
like, do.
It's really good.
So Alex is like, I'm not only here to threaten you. Or remember Bobby, Kraden's friend? Well, he's dead. He ran out of his draft, couldn't get more in time, and he's now a dead guy. But that does mean that we shouldn't go back to North Gondolin at the moment. A, because the data for that part of the map isn't on this cartridge, but B, because we were one of the last people seen with Bobby, and now Bobby's dead, so they probably think we killed him. So, toodles, peace out.
And we can't say he died of being like 170.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
So Alex and the Mars Adepts leave, and Piers is like, oh, well, Kraden, if you were only going to go to Lemuria for Bobby, then I guess you're free from that request. You can do whatever you want. And then shitty Gandalf says, no, I have other reasons for continuing on our quest. And he finally says the plot of the game that we haven't been privy to before. Just kidding. He says he'll tell us about it when we get to Lemuria. Which we still need to go get 2 pieces of trident so we can make it there. So we head back to Dala, where armed with Frost, we can recover the Sea God's Tear and restore it to the top of the Sea God's Tower, which gets us the next third of the trident. Actually, if you're like me, you accidentally do this one first after getting the boat, and you've had a trashy piece of trident for like hours at this point. But
that was me.
When I first saw the sprite for this item, I thought it was like a fancy high heel shoe. If you look at the sprite, I think you can see how I would see it.
Yes, it's definitely a fancy high-heeled shoe.
But no, it's some trash.
It's just some trash. So for the last piece, we try and climb the Tower of Ankhal, but we need the ability to burrow underground, which we don't have yet. So we meander around to the only island we haven't been to yet, to the town of Izumo, where the townspeople are behest by an evil serpent that demands sacrifices, and the current sacrifice, Kushinada, was betrothed to a man named Susa when she was chosen as the sacrifice. Susa said, fuck that, and he headed off to Gaia Rock to kill the serpent and free Kushinada from her fate. But the mayor of the town says that it's pointless for him to try, because the legend says that a group of heroes will arrive from the far east and kill that's west. Will arrive from the far west and kill the serpent, and hey, that's us.
East, west, the world is round. It doesn't matter.
So we head to Gaia Rock, and the dungeon is so cool because you can, if you want to, walk right in and fight the serpent, and it's bitch hard, but not impossible. So you could just grind and get good.
It heals completely every turn.
But you could grind and get good and kill the serpent, or
it
you
has
can do
been
the
done
dungeon,
apparently. But yeah,
or you can do the dungeon and blast it with sunlight, which weakens it. So then the fight is bitch hard, but not impossible. Fuck this fight.
I beat this fight on my first try, but it was a thrilling battle.
Yeah, it's so fucking hard. Because even without healing back to full, he still heals on average like 250 HP a turn, which is not easy to do in one turn at this point. Now that I've wandered and gotten lost and grounded like crazy, that's like one Ragnarok from Felix. But at the time, it was really fucking hard.
Last game I was talking about how I wasn't really engaging with the mechanics at all. I'm engaging with the mechanics now. This and the Salamander, I had to try.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this
rules.
It rules. I think it works really great here that this boss is so hard because he is set up in lore. Like, this should be extremely difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this wasn't punishingly hard, it would kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes it seems like our party just wanders into a situation. It's like, oh yeah, we have synergy. We can do this impossible task. Yeah, sure, whatever. Mm-hmm. But no, this is a big deal.
Yeah. After we somehow win the fight, the serpent gets back up to fight us again, but Susa jumps in and does a heroism and kills the weakened serpent, and he rushes back to Kushinada to tell her the good news. Behind the serpent is a tablet that teaches Felix the sand synergy, so he can now burrow underground. After killing the serpent, there is a whole lot of dialogue and cutscene back in town about how we're apparently on a quest to get all of the synergies from the rocks, like Aqua Rock and Gaia Rock and Ayers Rock, and spoilers for next week, Magma Rock. But like, no we fucking aren't. The Trident quest is underhinted, but this quest that we are definitely not on gets a whole ass long-winded cutscene. Jesus Christ.
I mean, we might as well. I mean, I think, if I recall correctly, I think there's some like, oh yeah, we need all the synergy we can to complete our quest, so we might as well go to these rocks.
Yeah.
But it is rather tenuous.
Yeah. So, anyways, we head back to the Ankle Tower and we dig our way to the top and we get the last piece of the trident. We take it back to Granny Obaba in Champa, and she repairs the legendary Trident of Ankle for us, which allows us to sail back to Lemuria and kick Poseidon's ass. When we get to Lemuria, we're like, holy shit, this place is magical and advanced and awesome. And all the NPCs are like, no, actually, it sucks now, and everything's getting worse.
I mean, to be fair, the game was like, everyone's like, oh, this place is so great. I'm like, it's kind of discount the kingdom from
Chrono Trigger?
From Chrono Trigger, yeah. It's kind of the discount version, but yeah, sure, it's fine.
Yeah. So the king Hydros, he thinks that the decline in Lemuria is because of alchemy somehow. But the senators are opposed to every action that King Hydros tries to take, and their leader, Lord Conservato, stymies any attempt to fix problems in Lemuria.
Conservato, I can't.
I know games that use subtext and they all suck.
That's exactly what my girlfriend said when I told her about this.
So Piers heads home to his uncle's house, and his uncle informs Piers that his mother died while he was out gallivanting around on the Eastern Sea. So Piers, distraught, heads to the cemetery to mourn, and we just get to wander around Lemuria for a while, and we meet up with Loompa, the legendary thief and friend of Bobby. Loompa thanks us for helping Piers on his mission, and we're like, wait, Piers has a secret mission too? I thought that was just us. Which reminds Kraden, he's supposed to tell us about his secret mission. So Kraden says that long ago, before alchemy's power was sealed, there were many civilizations that were as advanced and cultivated as Lemuria. At the moment that alchemy was sealed away, most of those civilizations began to wane, until eventually they all vanished. He says he has certain theories suggesting that this might be related to the seal on alchemy, which is why he wanted to come to Lemuria to test those theories and see if things here were related to alchemy as well. He says that the world today, all of the great civilizations have vanished, and we haven't encountered any cultures that would be capable of building the sanctum and the lighthouses and all of the cool shit. So obviously something has been decaying, but the rest of what's going on, we should hear directly from His Majesty King Hydros. So let's go to visit the king.
I really liked this as a twist, or not a twist, but like as an idea, because up to this point, I guess I maybe occasionally spared a thought for like, yeah, there's still a lot of like coherent, like these all feel like completely separate cultures that are just each one town, but that's JRPGs, that's normal. And then for it to be like, no, that's not normal actually, that's the plot.
Yeah, it was very cool. So we meet back up with Pierce and go visit the king, and he says that he gave Pierce the mission to go and explore the world and see if it's true that the world was decaying. Because when Loompa showed up, he brought a map with him, and it had much less landmass on it than the maps that they have in Lemuria of the planet, and he wanted Pierce to confirm this. Pierce says that not only is the landmass smaller, it's actually smaller than it was on Loompa's map, so the world is decaying. Conservato is like, bullshit, the world is fine, there's no reason to be afraid of the world decaying. And Hydros is like, then why did Poseidon come back? It's because these guys already lit 2 of the alchemical lighthouses. Conservato is like, but that will destroy the world. If you bring back alchemy, the world will be destroyed. And Hydros is like, maybe, but back when we had alchemy, the world flourished, and now that it's been sealed away, shit sucks, and I can't sit by and do nothing. We have to try. And the group is like, yes, this is exactly what we've been trying to do the whole time. This was our secret quest that we wouldn't tell the player. I'm glad somebody else told the player what we were up to.
I like that though. Also, joke just for you, Sam, and for Cosmic fans at home. It's funny that we're kind of playing the Sons of Honor right now.
Yes.
Let's cause the apocalypse in the hope that it revitalizes this shitty world.
So, Conservative says that he will have nothing to do with us, and if Piers leaves to help us bring back alchemy, then he'll never be allowed back. But King Hydros is like, LOL, whatever. Here's a synergy that will let you get back through the barrier reefs so you can come whenever you want. This is where the mini metal shop is. Of course you're going to come back. So we can now grind through barrier reefs, much like the one keeping us from the Western Sea, where the 2 remaining lighthouses are waiting to be lit. And we'll go light one of them probably next week. But for now, our memorable moments.
So, Briggs gets a funny animation.
Yeah.
Him just, like, doing that thing that you do where you pull down your eye and you go, bleh.
Well, there's this funny thing where his wife is just like, honey, remember you said there was something you wanted to do to these guys once you saw them again. Wasn't there? And he's like, yeah, you're right. Actually, it's like, well, wait, what are you... I don't know what you're talking about. What? And then she reminds me, he's like, oh, that's right. Meh. And then she's like, was that seriously it? Was that really it?
The game continues to be long-winded, but a lot of the long-winded scenes this week were actually pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Man, I love these dungeons. In Gaia Rock, to get to the chamber with the dragon, you have to do this. There's this corridor where it's like really cramped, and there's stumps that you have to move with move, and trying to figure out it's a simple puzzle. You go through it quickly, but I just really liked it. Figuring out how to move them so that you can move the ones you need to move and stuff.
Because if you do it the way that looks obvious when you first go in, the second one blocks your way and you can't do it. So you have to like do it weird. And I like that one a lot. I also love the Lost Woods that are part of Gaia Rock because it's randomized in every game playthrough, which is extra hilarious to me because in the strategy guide, because I have the Prima strategy guide for this game, they'd say, oh, use growth on the flower and it'll tell you where to go. Or you can go up, down, left, right, BA, select, start, or whatever their pathway through is. And then it says, note, this is randomized. This is only one solution. I'm like, then don't fucking put it there. Don't tell us how you did it because it's randomized.
I thought you were going to say, oh, they didn't know it was randomized. Isn't that funny? But that's worse.
It's worse.
That's really funny.
Yeah, I'm guessing maybe they had like already done the layout and made the map, and then when somebody went to test it, they're like, "Oh, it's different for me. It's random." But like we've already made the layout, so we'll just add this note that it's random, even though you made this whole map that doesn't fucking work.
Amazing.
We already talked a bit about it, but I love that Alex scene so much. I love that his fucking new goons. First of all, I love the girl. I love Yardy's sister, Karst. Her design's great. I love that they're such Team Rocket ass villains, and their reaction to finding out that they're Team Rocket villains, that they're truly just here to like not to cause mischief and threaten us vaguely, is so funny because they're like, wait, that's it? That's why you brought us here? But more to the point, there's a point in that scene where Pierce says the line, Alex, cut the melodrama and get to the point for a change. And I was just like, Pierce has known Alex for 5 minutes and he already has his number so bad. I just love that. Like, it does not matter if you just met him. Anyone could look at him and just be like, this is the most dramatic ass bitch in the universe.
I mean, thinking back to the scene at the very beginning of the game where he's using his water synergy on the people approaching you outside the tower, it's like, oh my god, he's so dramatic about this.
Also, I really love it near the end. There's that bit in Lemuria where talking to Conservito or whatever his fucking name is, I still can't. I still can't. There's a whole point where at first he and the king have an argument because the king's like, "Oh, let's go over to them," and he's like, "We go over to them. They need to present themselves to us because we're the ones who are important." And the king's like, "I'm not presenting myself to them. I'm just walking over to talk to them because I have something to tell them." And Xerxes like, "Yeah, well, I'm not gonna do it." And then because of like the angle, we've been off screen, and so I'm imagining that this throne room is like 3 screens long or something. But no, it moves back. We're standing 10 feet away. That has to be an intentional joke. It's so
gotta be
funny. Just in general, I love Camelot for their sense of humor and for their ability to tell really funny jokes sometimes.
There's a whole bunch of really good NPCs. I kind of don't hate the fact that this part of the game doesn't have cutscenes. It has NPC conversations because all of the NPCs are really, really good. My favorite one is when you first show up to Izumo, the place that's being beset by the serpent. The first guy you talk to is like, "Hey, just so you know, everything sucks here. And like, not normal sucks, it extra sucks. You should run. Turn around. Don't talk to anybody else. Just leave." And it's very good.
It's really good.
And after exploring a bit, I'm like, this is a pretty standard JRPG scenario.
Yeah.
I've dealt with this in like 20 other games.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if our way of handling this situation was to dress up party's girls as the sacrifice instead. We could have added it to the counter.
Man, this game has good graphics.
It does.
Yeah. The Game Boy
Especially
Advance was good at graphics.
The character portraits are so good.
Yes.
Also, there's just a couple moments. I kind of felt for a while like Sheba was kind of a nothing character, and I'm still not gonna say she's anywhere as like interesting or memorable as a character as Jenna. But she has a couple moments, especially in the Alex conversation, where I'm like, okay, no, you got some fun things going on. You're something.
Also, I like how
cardboard plank.
At least the way I remember it, I think Sheba was the one who was the most like, man, fuck that guy about the mayor of Alhafra.
Mm-hmm. She was.
It's like, man, I hate him so much.
I also love Granny Obaba. Everything about her is so good.
The whole scene where Briggs is like, "Grandma, you gotta do something," is so funny. And I don't know what happens if you say no, but I like how she's like, "Hey, listen, you don't know what you're dealing with here. I'm real strong."
If you
I know I'm an old lady.
It's actually hilarious. If you say, "No, I don't want to fight you," she's like, "See, I knew you had a good head on your shoulders." And then it turns you around and walks you 2 steps away and gives you control back. And then you come back. She's like,
it was something like that.
She's like,
yeah.
"Come on, please. I don't want to have to fight you." And it's like, well, all I can say is yes or no. I can't actually say, "Briggs, we don't want to fight." So I guess I'll fight your salamander.
Oh gosh.
And it was a hard fight.
It was.
Okay, I have one minor complaint. Very minor, but a complaint. So the stuff with Lemuria, where it's like, oh yeah, they're just like chilling, do their thing. Again, we compared this to Chrono Trigger. You could also easily compare it to, I mean, there's been other stuff like it feels a little bit Atlantis: The Lost Empire, or for more of a swing for the fence sort of reference, Nova Roma from Marvel Comics. But like, then there's a similar kind of thing they're doing here with the I'm trying to remember the name of it. The town that that Briggs is from.
Champa.
Where they do it Champa. Where there's a thing where they're like, you know, because he's the problem with him bringing back all these jewels and gold is that everyone's just so lazy. No one wants to do their job anymore. And I'm just like, this is some fucking bullshit. Go to hell, game.
Yeah.
if people have their basic needs taken care of, they do not, in fact, get lazy and stop working. They have the ability to do what they want while not having to worry about whether they're going to starve or not. People are actually more productive when that happens. Universal basic income is a human right that should be fucking given to people.
We'd get so much more weird art that way.
We would get so much more weird art that way.
That's why all of the like famous artists and stuff are all rich people, because their needs were always met, so they could go and do weird art instead. That's like half the reason why nepotism is a thing in Hollywood, is because the only people who won't starve if they stop doing their thing and make weird art is rich people.
And then when you have something like the Renaissance period and all the, back then, even if you weren't rich, a rich person could pay for you to just do art and cover all your costs of living, so your life was just doing art for them / the church. But yeah, no, it's that small complaint aside, so actually I realized I have a second complaint, and I forgot about it because we've been talking about all the fun cutscenes, and the cutscenes are very fun. They're also 10% of what we played this
oh yeah.
Yeah, we played through so many fucking dungeons, and like the thing it honestly reminds me of, and this is not a compliment for once to compare it to this game, it reminds me of Wind Waker, the last third of Wind Waker specifically, where it's like, here's some stuff to do, here's a lot of open world, do stuff, go ahead and do it. And I'm just like, I wish there was video game here, because there's not a lot of video game here.
Here, there's too much video game.
Yes, it is too much video game. Well, there's too much video. I mean, the same you can say of Winker. There's too much video game, but not enough, like, fun plot and character stuff. I miss when every dungeon had at least, not every dungeon, every other dungeon had an accompanying character and town and whatever. Like, that makes the it feels like I'm getting little treats in between meals, and this time I had to eat an 8-course dinner with no treats. That sucked.
Yeah. Another thing of why this week is so weirdly designed is not only is if you go back to Dala first and you get the trash right away, something you might do first. It has the weakest monsters of this week. You're almost designed to go there first, and like if you follow the order of where you don't die, it's even weirder than than my contrived connection points. It is Dragon Quest 2 straight up. You just go around.
Kind of go around.
You just kind of go around and you do what you can, and that rules. But it was real hard to write notes for.
This game feels so much bigger in scope than the first one.
Absolutely.
100%. Something else, another older game, I say older, but not modern game it reminded me of, and I don't know if this is inspiration, but I also know that some Japanese developers did take... Wait, Camelot's not Japanese, is it?
They are.
Oh, they are? Okay. I know some Japanese developers did take influence from this series, so it wouldn't be the biggest shock. The inventory in this game specifically, in both games, has really big Ultima feels to me. In that, like, especially like once you get to like Ultimas 5 and 6, where there is just so much micromanaging with these inventories, and I'm not saying that as a positive, but it is just a thing that I noticed.
Yeah,
because you are constantly like, oh, but this person's inventory full. Let me move this to this person. Oh, wait, now their inventory's full now, too. Let me, I got a bunch of these oil drops. I guess I'll just sell these? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking oil drops clogging up my inventory.
It's probably not Ultima, but it is 100% Dragon Quest, because Dragon Quest has the same, each person has their own inventory, and they're really, really small. This game is... Like, you clocked it
Dragon
as...
Quest has the decency to have a bank, though.
True. You clocked it as...
Do the Dragon Quest games, they have storage places, right?
I know they added them at some point. I don't think you do in the first or second game, but
Yeah, I mean, not in the early ones.
yeah, but I believe I know by the 5th game you have just a
Wagon.
a wagon and a nondescript inventory that's not tied to anybody in particular. But
Yeah, but you can't like use that stuff in battle.
Last game, Trish clocked this as being just like Dragon Quest, and I was like, I mean, it's Dragon Quest like, but it's not like cheating off of Dragon Quest's homework. And this game is cheating off of Dragon Quest's homework.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm glad I am happy. I'm a bit proud I managed to call that. But yeah, video game's still good. I'm excited to see where it goes. I hope there's a satisfying conclusion.
I mean, the first game didn't have a satisfying conclusion, but they had no intention of doing one there. So
yeah.
But yeah. Anything else about this big ol' unwieldy week we just covered?
No. I hope next week is normal.
It seems
With the
to
frizz? No way.
It seems to be a little bit more normal from looking ahead in the Prima strategy guide, but who can say? But
well, I've had my faith in that strategy guide shaken already.
Here's the thing: it's shaken in the weirdest way because it's not like a full like, wow, you were wrong. It's like you were wrong. You were wrong, but you acknowledged what is right, and
You
we're just like,
you weren't wrong so much as you were inscrutable, and that's kind of scarier.
But that will do it for this week. If you like what you heard today, you can head on over to www.rpgbook.club, where any and all donations help us offset the cost of running the show. If you decide to donate $1 more a month, you'll become one of our gadabouts and also get access to our bonus feed filled with aftershows for every episode, as well as bonus seasons of the show, such as Tales of Podcastia, The Escape Pod, and the JRPG Canon. You'll also get to vote in our polls to decide what we play next, kind of like this one.
Oh my gosh!
We need a palate cleanser from playing really long games, so we're going to be playing some really short games, and we decided we love the Game Boy Advance, so we're going to be playing 2 short Game Boy Advance.
We're going to be playing one of them.
One of 2 short Game Boy Advance games with the word battle in their title. We'll be either playing Mega Man Battle Network 1 or Car Battler Joe. One of those is a cult classic, and one of those is really weird. So I have no idea which ones you listeners will vote for, because you usually pick whichever one of those is against the normal game. And so now they're 2 weird ones put together. So
yeah, I'm excited to play either.
Yes.
I would love to replicate that statement. I do need to let the audience know that if Car Battler Joe wins this poll, I will go to the house of every person who voted for it, and I will beat you up. That is a promise. That is a real threat you can take to court.
So if you want to autograph from your favorite podcast host, Trish, an easy way to do it is to vote for Car Battler Joe.
No!
So, if while you're there and you're voting, you want to up your donation to $5 or more each month, you can become one of our warriors and get your name read at the end of every episode, a little like this. Shoutouts to Dragon Slayer 19, Freddie Rodriguez, and JFro Prime. And then if you really, really love us and you want to become one of our luminaries, you can donate $20 or more a month and get a short 1-sentence shout out or advert read at the end of each episode, kind of like this. Shoutouts to Kale Dronis, who says to check out Podcasters Assemble. It is a documentary-style, crowdsourced movie, hype, and rewatch podcast. Every season, podcasters from around the world are assembled to review, reminisce, and riff on a popular franchise. And then shoutouts to Vimke, who says, Gideon was gone. And then shoutouts to It's Clear Time, who says, for you TTRPG nerds, check out Fabula Ultima. I'm not affiliated with the game, I just think it's neat. For RPG Book Club, I've been Sam.
I'm Bernard.
And I'm Trish.
Toodaloo, folks.
Bye-bye!